Hello, you're hanging out with Janice, author of Unlock Your Voice: The Secrets to Singing and head vocal coach of Live Academy. Let's talk about why do we sound different on microphones today. So if you've ever heard yourself back through speakers or through a recording and think to yourself, oh my gosh, that's not me, that's not how I sound like at all, well, you're not the only one. You know why? Because when we hear ourselves, without microphones, we don't just hear ourselves through our ears, but we also hear ourselves through the vibrations, in the bones, like in our vocal mask, alright? So when these guys are vibrating, the sound is somewhat distorted. It's not a true reflection of what your real voice is. So which one is your real voice? I hate to break it to you, but it is the voice that you hear through the microphone or through the speakers. But here's the good news. You can personalize your voice, customize your voice in such a way that you would eventually love it, yeah? So what we need to do here is to make sure that we get our best sound when we use the microphone. So I'm going to walk you through 3 easy steps to sound good the next time you use a microphone. Step number 1, you want to use your best sound, and that means to use your voice to its maximum resonance, and that boils down to using this part over here. There are 3 parts to the voice. We have the power source, the vibrator, and the amplifier, also known as the resonator. So the amplifier is this part here that I'm talking about. I'm talking about your vocal tract and your nasal tract. The voice, when produced here, has to travel through these so-called channels to be amplified. Alright, so in other words, it's like the horn part, of a trumpet. So when we sing, we want to make sure that we're using this part here, because your fullest sound is always your best sound. It's like an instrument, if I play a note that's not played properly, not pressed properly like that, okay, it's not going to sound great. But if I press it properly, of course it's going to sound much better. So in other words, getting our full sound is something like that, yeah? So what we can do is this. I want you to concentrate on using the front of your mask. And this boils down to being able to concentrate the vibration at the front of the mask. So if you try this with me right now, just pretend you're a cow for a moment, okay? But with your mouth closed, and we're going to do some moves, yeah? So something like this. And as I'm doing this, I can feel my teeth buzzing, the lips buzzing as well. So what we're doing here is we're concentrating the resonance, the vibration of the voice at the front of the mask to get a full resonance, to amplify our voice at its fullest. So when we sing or when we speak, we want to still feel that amount of buzzing at the front. So try this again, and drop your jaw now. So when you sing, even if you sing softly, you want to maintain that front placement. So for example, if I were to take a song like I'll Be There, the verse part, and start singing softly without using the front, it's going to sound very weak, like there's no vocal presence at all. You and I must make a pact, because everything's at the back. But if I put it at the front, you and I must make a pact, we must bring, it sounds fuller. So that's the sound that you have to use when you're using the microphone, and you definitely sound much better. Alright, step number 2. When you practice singing, you should also practice recording yourself. And this is where having an iPhone or any sort of device that has a recording app will come in really handy. So what you really need to do is make sure you've got a voice memo app of some sort, and then hit the record button when you are singing, and spend some time listening back to the recording, just to make sure that it's the kind of voice that you really envision, what it is you're doing when you're singing. Because you can make changes. For example, if you're using a very warm sound, you and I must make a pact, and you record yourself and you find like, nah, this is not how I want to sound like, then try, changing the colors, instead of going, you and I, you can sing, you and I must make a pact. But you see, this can't happen unless we record ourselves and hear for real how do we sound like. Because remember, what people are hearing is what you hear when you record yourself or when you sing through a microphone. Now, the third step is to actually practice with a microphone. I always encourage my students to first practice singing well with the best sound first without a microphone and having consistent results before they sing with a microphone. And this is important because you want to make sure that you practice the same healthy technique that you do without a microphone with a microphone. Then you'll be able to produce consistent results, consistently good results. Most people, they sound different because what happens is when they get in front of a microphone, they start singing differently just because they can hear their voices louder through the speakers. But you gotta remember, you gotta use your best sound with a microphone. So for example, if I go like, you and I must make, just because I can hear myself louder on the mic, I don't sing any softer like this. You and I must make a pact. Right, it doesn't sound good. But if I use my full projection again, you and I must make a pact. This one sounds much better. So sometimes it may help if you find yourself like, hey, how come I'm sounding different? I don't have the same vocal control anymore when I'm singing with the mic. Try pulling the mic away for a while. So you and I must make a pact. And make sure that you are using the same good healthy technique before and after the mic. So that would be one good way to go. And of course, just get yourself used to hearing yourself singing through a mic and with the music. Yeah. So let's try that for a bit. So if I do this, what I can do is before the music comes on, I test it out. The look of love. And I want to make sure I do the same thing with a microphone now. The love of love is in your eyes, your eyes, your eyes. Exactly the same. And then you will be able to produce good, consistent results. So try those 3 steps and work yourself into sounding better on the microphone the next time. Now for more vocal tips, go to my website www.unlockyourvoice.com.my, or if you've got any questions, post your questions below or send them to me on facebook.com/JaniceYapFB. Have a nice day.